Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the most important segment you hear all day, week, evening regarding the saga of Lev Parnas, yet another person you never heard of before Democrats needed another actor, another culprit in their fabricated scheme, their fantasies linked to never-ending neuroses about election losses and how corrupt Trump is, even though they can't prove anything. They don't have any direct evidence of anything. Furthermore, they have no evidence that he committed a crime. They're trying to say that he withheld military assistance to investigate Biden. Number one, Biden deserves to be investigated. That's obvious. It's not a coincidence that Burisma is paying $3.4 million by one estimate to his son just by accident. He doesn't speak Ukrainian. He doesn't speak Russian. Hunter has no background in energy. The only background he might have is allegedly consuming narcotics in gentlemen's clubs. But anyway, if you read the indictment on Lev Parnas, so the Maddow interview, this is the same person who found Trump's tax returns that the IRS has. So with Clinton, like, she actually did commit crimes. There was top secret intelligence on private servers. You didn't need New York Times anonymous sources to find that out. That's a crime unto itself. Anyway, we can go on forever. The pay-to-play schemes of the Clinton Foundation, John Huber didn't investigate. We can go on forever. With the Southern District of New York, Democrats have basically an extension of the Democratic Party. So isn't that great? You can have an actual... you can have courts within the largest city in the United States of America going to bat for you, trying desperately to take down Trump because they're all uber liberal and they're all Democrats, just like the Mueller team was all Democrats and all people who donated to Clinton and President Obama and the Democratic Party. They still can't find anything, but what they do is they say, oh, Michael Cohen flipped insane. So they find people on crimes that have nothing to do with Trump, whether it's Manafort or Michael Cohen or Lev Parnas. And they weave this tale, and then they get people to actually flip and sing on Trump, but they can't find any direct evidence. They're basically like impeachment witnesses without direct evidence. So here, if you read the indictment, first and foremost, of Lev Parnas, this Rudy Giuliani associate, number one, simply knowing somebody that does something bad doesn't implicate you, okay? Number two, if you read the indictment, has nothing to do with Trump, nothing. So as alleged, this is U.S. Attorney Jeffrey S. Berman said, quote, as alleged in the indictment, the defendants broke the law to gain political influence while avoiding disclosure of who was actually making the donations and where the money was coming from. They sought political influence not only to advance their own financial interests, but to advance the political interests of at least one foreign official, a Ukrainian government official who sought the dismissal of the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. So they were working on behalf of a Ukrainian official, not Trump, okay? Protecting the integrity of our elections and protecting, here we go again, our core functions of our campaign finance laws. Clinton purchased a dossier from an MI6 agent that she did not disclose to the FEC. I wrote about that in the Daily Caller. In addition to that, Correct the Record and other PACs were extensions of her campaign. In addition to that, the DNC was an extension of her campaign. These are all... They were funneling $80 million into her campaign from down-ticket Democrats. Politico broke that story. Whatever. The whole thing is, once Trump wins his second term, and he will demolish the Democratic Party with Clinton as the nominee. This is all for Clinton. She runs the political machine. It's not the No Malarkey bus tour that nobody did. Was there a Democratic debate yesterday? I mean, who cares? The whole thing is a bunch of nonsense. Does anybody really believe in the Democratic Party that Biden is going to win for them? They're going to go back to Clinton. All of these people, whether it's the top attorneys at the U.S. District, Southern District, or top Justice Department officials still there, just because William Barr is there doesn't mean he's wrestled control away of the entire Justice Department. Why do you think Sessions and Huber were there? They were extensions of the Democratic Party also. Why? Because they were establishment Republicans. The establishment Democrat and the establishment Republican are two sides of the same coin. You think Sessions loves Trump? No. Obviously not. The Mueller probe happened here. But if you read, so campaign finance laws exist. So if you read the indictment on Lev Parnas, this guy you never heard of, it talks about what he did for a Ukrainian official and what he did to enrich himself. Okay, it doesn't talk about Trump. Then you have the Hill, 5 takeaways from Parnas' Maddow interview. Now, of course, he says he claimed Trump threatened to withhold more than just military aid from Ukraine. Where's the evidence? Because when William D. Campbell, the FBI informant, stated that Russian lobbyists were bragging about their influence over the Clinton Foundation, because guess what? There might have been a reason. Maybe they bribed Secretary Clinton and President Obama's administration by funneling millions into the Clinton Foundation. Maybe that was a bribe. Maybe that wasn't coincidental. So there was a cash money flow into the Clinton Foundation, and then miraculously 20% of U.S. uranium is sold. Oh, well, there's no direct evidence. Okay, there's no direct evidence. And then all of this superfluous nonsense, this irrelevant, well, she couldn't do it all on her own, and there were other agencies that signed off on it. Yeah, how many people resigned from President Obama's administration? They were all loyal. How many people resigned from Bush's? Maybe one from Bush's. I don't even know. But nobody resigned. Most of the time, government in the United States of America, people are loyal. They don't resign. They're not going to, even if it's bad for national security, which that uranium deal was, they're not going to resign. So the rebuttal is, well, it was signed off by other agencies. Yeah, you're assuming these agencies were autonomous. Kind of like when Attorney General Loretta Lynch met with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. There's no evidence that they spoke about anything else. Yeah, it's absurd, though. Withholding military assistance because a country is corrupt is the same reasoning that Biden used to fire a prosecutor because, he wasn't looking into corruption enough. That's different from all the pay-to-play schemes with the Clinton Foundation, which make no sense at all. But here, Lev Parnas, associate of Rudy Giuliani. So Southern District says you've committed these crimes. You'll get a better deal if you go ahead and yell at the top of your lungs that Trump is corrupt. So he does it, just like Michael Cohen did it. But Michael Cohen's in prison, and Trump is still president. And Stormy Daniels is suing the attorney representing her, I believe. So everyone, Eric Schneiderman's no longer there. Al Franken's no longer there. Jussie Smollett, we all know what happened. So, you go up against Trump, Lisa Page and Strzok, who said, we will stop Trump. We all know that they were stooping. We all know we all know, basically, whenever anyone tries to take down Trump, they get taken down. Okay? It was like, I think Voltaire said, you diss me, you diss yourself. So that's, whenever anyone goes after Trump, they're the ones that suffer, not Trump. And so here, he implicated Attorney General Barr, saying he had to have known everything. When people simply say, well, everyone knew, that's irrelevant. Well, everyone knew at the Clinton Foundation. You want to know how we knew? No, because the campaign emails themselves are written by a Clinton Foundation official, a top official. In his own words, he says, there's 500 conflicts of interest, and 3 CGI, Clinton Global Initiative sponsors, are paying Bill Clinton personally. So, yeah, here, and then so Trump knew exactly what was going on. How do you know? He alleged Pence skipped Zelensky's inauguration because Ukraine pressure campaign. The Ukraine pressure campaign. Do Democrats understand that they have a president, Vladimir Zelensky? They had another president, Poroshenko. Both say that they were not pressured. You kind of have to have the Ukrainian presidents on board with your neuroses and eccentricities and fantasies. You lost the election in 2016, Democrats. Enjoy it. I know you've been stewing in your own contempt for 3 years. Oh my God, you just on social media, you've retweeted yourself to the depths of despair. Social media the cyber reality you live in isn't going to help you. It's not going to save you. You're going to lose to Trump again. With Clinton again, it's going to be glorious. Okay? People say, oh my God, H.A. Badman, Clinton's not running. Well, then who's going to run? I don't know, but Clinton's not running. She's not going to be nominee. Then who's going to be nominee? Bernie? Oh, no. Warren? Come on. Biden? I don't know, but Clinton's not going to be nominee. Is Biden going to be nominee? Answer the question. Anyway, she hasn't run yet. Well, it doesn't matter. She's going to be a day before the convention. And she'll rock it in with a jetpack from Super Bowl II. Flyer 950, boys. And then she lands, and they worship at the shrine, and sacrifice some animals, and they're this typical DNC meeting, and and they have the nominee, and then she loses again. And guess what? Just like you didn't think Clinton would run or be nominee, they're going to convince you that Clinton's going to win. So the same people are saying, H.A. Goodman, no, but they're going to be the same people. Oh my God, is she going to win? Is she going to win, H.A.? And I'll tell you, no, she's not. Just like I told you in 2015, NPR quoted me alongside Nate Silver of 538. 538 said Trump wouldn't even be GOP nominee. And I was saying Clinton would lose swing states. He asserted the Ukraine campaign was never about corruption, strictly about Burisma. Okay, so who cares what Lev Parnas thinks? Who cares what Lev Parnas thinks? Who cares? And furthermore, if they wanted to investigate Burisma's dealings with Biden, Trump has every right in the world. That's right, Democrats. If Biden is corrupt, too bad for you. Too bad for you. Guess what? Here's a new concept. Your criminal behavior and your corruption actually influences campaigns. Just like when the Washington Post found that 10-year-old hot mic with Trump saying he, grabs whatever. Democrats are so horrendous, and Clinton was so, repulsive to people that even that's like the type of thing you'd find in a movie, like a hilarious political comedy, that like the hot mic, and then he still won. And it wasn't because of the Tiki Torch sexist racist. It's because the average American looks and says, okay, I can have a Democrat or I can have Trump. I can have Clinton or I can have Trump. And they pick Trump. Wisconsin picked Trump. Did Wisconsin look at the Facebook ads? Did Michigan and Pennsylvania look at the Facebook ads? Hillary Clinton, you could look below. My description section is everything you need to defeat anyone in any debate regarding Trump and Clinton and Democrats. Not that I suggest you never debate anybody. But in my description section, I have also, in addition to the ODNI disclaimer nonsense, the intelligence community nonsense, the actual part in the Mueller report that said Trump did nothing, no evidence of anything, I actually have a C-SPAN clip and a CNN clip of Hillary Clinton 4 days before the election in Arizona. She was in Arizona. That's how much she was afraid of Russian hacking. The Russians interfered in the election to such a great extent that all the geniuses in her campaign said, yeah, you can win Arizona, go. That's, since the 50s or 60s? They haven't, no, not even then. Arizona's a red state. It's a red state. Kristen Sinema barely won with recounts and recounts. It is a red state. It's going red again this election. So is North Carolina. So is Texas. And also another thing, in terms of demographics, there are more black Trump supporters. There are more Latino Trump supporters. There are more Asian Trump supporters. Trump is growing in popularity among all demographics that Democrats take for granted. So too bad for you, Democrats. I can't wait to hear all your favorite pundits on the left, all the favorite pundits explain away why they lost again to Trump. I can't wait to hear this. It's going to be, I want to see the meltdown from Hollywood. I want to see it's, and you know what? Democrats are going to take Twitter down with them. Twitter is not going to be, the next election, 2024, it's not going to be as influential. Facebook either, because people realize, like, what are we doing spending? I don't have Twitter because it's a complete and utter waste of time. My YouTube channels, both of them, have gone up exponentially. I haven't been on Twitter since the end of 2017. No, sorry, the end of 2018. So for a year and a month, I haven't been on Twitter, and my channel's been flourishing. And my second channel, I have almost 20,000 subs now. I'm on my way to 20,000 subs. Go check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have a great M249 segment. Pretty awesome. Bill of Rights. You don't need social media. It doesn't help you at all. It really doesn't. It doesn't really help businesses either. That's a whole other story. Sometimes it could, depending on what your business is. But anyway, it doesn't help you. Doesn't help you. At least it doesn't help me at all. If you're on YouTube, I don't know, whatever. That's a whole other story. I don't think it helps at all. And it's just a waste of time. It's a cyber reality meant for liberals and progressives and anarchists and people on the left or whatever. And it still doesn't work for them. And when they lose again to Trump, they're going to be like, oh my God, but we were fighting tyrants and authoritarians. No, only in your sick mind. Because you convinced yourself Trump is Attila the Hun. You're not fighting anyone. You're on Twitter retweeting things. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're like, I'm fighting and I'm calling out to them. Nobody cares. Trump's going to win again. Every time. Don't get me started. Give me your thoughts below. Lev Parnas is like Michael Cohen, who was like Paul Manafort, who was like every other, Al Franken, who was like every other person that went, Jussie Smollett, who was like every other person that went after Trump. It didn't work out, did it? So this is yet another failed attempt at getting Trump. Give me your thoughts below. Instead of a live stream, I'm probably going to do another segment. This is really, really important. So this is the most important segment regarding, I might do a live stream. I don't think I will, but this is the most important segment regarding the whole Lev Parnas thing. He's indicted on a campaign finance issue to benefit himself and a Ukrainian official. Had nothing to do with Trump. But it's the Southern District that goes after anyone associated with Trump. If it's Clinton, with a litany of things. Brian Pagliano, he set up Clinton's servers. Did he get authority from anyone? Nobody knows. Comey never found out how they migrated top secret intelligence outside of the United States government. How did they transfer this information? Comey never investigated. And then you have Jennifer Rubin at the Washington Post. Voluminous report. Voluminous report. No, it's not voluminous. It's a bunch of nonsense. Just like the Mueller report that Mueller didn't even read. Give me your thoughts below. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel right this second. Some great